Alright, just a quick video on what was the first modern gas mask. Now, first thing you may notice is there are no Russian masks here. There's no PMK-1 or PMK-2. The PMK series really wasn't a modern mask. It wasn't really optically capable. Well, it did have a drinking system, and at least the PMK-2 did have two filters, or two switchable slots. It didn't have an oral nasal cup. It barely had a deflector system. It wasn't a great mask. It still relied on those anti-fog inserts. So that's the reason you're not seeing a PMK here. Because frankly, it's shit and not really a modern mask. It wasn't at the time. Anyway, so this has come, well, these are three masks I consider the earliest examples of a modern mask. The MCU series, which dates from the late 70s when the XM30 project was finishing, to the early 80s. The M40, although this is an M42 series, which ran from I think it was trialed in somewhere in the mid 1980s and adopted the late 80s, early 90s, and the S10, which was prototyped in the early 80s and adopted in either 1984 or 1986. Maybe wrong, but I think it was finalized in 1986 and fully adopted. Anyway, I can safely get rid of the M40 because, well, it wasn't adopted until much later than, well, not that much later, less than 5 or so years. So the criteria that I consider a modern mask should have is more than one available threaded port. While the S10 doesn't have one, it did have. You could get it issued in either left-handed or right-handed, and it does have a diaphragm on the side. So, yeah, it is adjustable on the MCU series. Yeah, problems with the MCU series include the fact it's a silicone face piece. It's not exactly optically capable. It is very hard to get a good optical view with it. I've been testing it with binoculars and whatnot, and it's kind of terrible when you have to take off the protective film, and there's a chance it will scratch up the eye lenses, and that's non-replaceable. So I don't really consider the MCU a modern mask. While it has a drinking tube, switchable ports, a oral nasal cup, an internal deflector system, the S10 has all that and is earlier. The S10 was the first modern mask, really. It is fully optically capable. It's a good design, has a drinking tube, although apparently these are known to break. Its head harness is a little bit lacking. It uses a combination inverted Tissot system with a valveless Avon style, obviously, nose cup with just the hole. Yeah, it's a comfortable mask. It's quite heavy though, and it's made out of a butyl type rubber, so no issue with it being silicone. It's a great mask. Its only fault is it's really heavy. I generally consider it to be the first modern mask. I want to know what you think. What do you think the first modern mask was? This video is more just me rambling, so it doesn't really mean a lot. I like the S10. I mean, I like the MCU and the M40 too, but I like the S10 a little more. Just looks nicer. Well, that's it.